Hello everybody, I'm James and welcome back to Black Dice Gaming. So it's Friday evening, it's the day before the big release of the Old World. I've rang my local store and my copy is there, so I'm waiting to pick that up. Can't do that till tomorrow, so just twiddling our thumbs this evening, aren't we? Just waiting. So I decided to paint up some little obelisks. These are from Legend Games. Please check out their Facebook group. It's not sponsored by them. I just have these in my collection and I thought I'll paint them up for my Tomb Kings display board for when I get around to actually doing it. So there's 5 in a pack. All I've done so far is undercoat them. I undercoated them with Vallejo white and then did a second coat of Wraithbone over the top of that. So I thought I'd paint them up while waiting for the Tomb King stuff to arrive, or Brentonia if you're really that way inclined. Can't do anything about that, I'm afraid. So yeah, please sit back and let's just all wait till tomorrow. So let's crack on. And the first colour we're going to be using is going to be Skeleton Horde. Now what I've done here is I've actually mixed 50-50 Skeleton Horde with contrast medium because we just want to sort of get it into the little nooks and crannies on the actual model. Mainly this sort of weird magical sort of shape ruin on the top here. But we also want to just tint the colour. I'm going for a sort of sandstone sort of colour, so you could do Basilicanum grey if you wanted to go sort of grey colour. But I thought the deserts of Khemri would look much better in this sort of colour. So I'm trying to keep all the brush strokes going in one direction, except for when I get to the steps here, it's easier just to sort of go across at a slightly different angle. It's just a case of going around the model, putting it on. What I'm doing here is putting it on quite heavy to fill in these engravings just here, and then sort of just dragging it off in other directions. So there's some scarring on this one here. You'd want it in the cracks there as well, won't you? So yeah, so like I say, it's 50-50 mix. Don't let it pull up. Treating it more like a wash. I suppose you could have just used Agrax Earthshade, really. Might have been one way of doing it. But just make sure it gets into all the little chips, little dings. It doesn't have to be perfect finish because it is going to be ancient stone monument, so that's all we're going for. So I've got 5 of them to do, so I'm going to crack on and get this all coated on all of the bits of stonework. So with that first coat done, we're going to have something that looks a little like this. Next, what we're going to be doing is going to be using Carrick Stone, and we're just going to dry brush it to get it looking a little bit more like sandstone. So it's going to look a little bit more like this one. Okay, so we're just going to load the brush up. With a bit of the old Carrick Stone we're using. That's the colour that we're going for. And it's just your standard sort of dry brush on the edges. Kind of heavy-ish in parts, and then just going from sort of side to side, picking up on the edges. Just like so. Some nice circular motions because it is quite flat. So a nice bit of circular motion as well. Okay, so it's just a case of going around all 3 sides till we get it looking a little bit like this. Okay, so with the Carrick Stone done, it's going to look something like this. So we're moving on from this now. We're going to be doing a layer in Ushati bone, and that should give you that sort of effect, this one. Okay, and then moving on from there, we'll use Screaming Skull. So we've got Carrick Stone, and Ushati bone, and then Carrick Stone, Ushati bone, and Screaming Skull. And those are the three dry brushes that we're going to do. So this is what I'm working on, and this is going to be Ushati bone, and we're mainly just focusing on the sort of edges of the brickwork at the bottom, just catching the edge, tips of it, if we can, just like so, and then just again across the whole thing to give it that sort of caramel sandstone kind of colour, and then just caps at the top there, and again across like so. I'm just sort of going for the edges here, you know, so it picks up on the edges mainly. Okay, so go around each one of them, and then you'll have the 5 done, and then we'll move on to the Screaming Skull, and I'll be back once I've done. And so there you have it, 5 obelisks done. So we started off with Skeleton Horde with contrast medium 1:1 mix ratio, then dry brush Carrick Stone over the top, then we dry brushed Ushati bone, and then we dry brushed Screaming Skull, just for that sort of final edge highlight on everything. Now you could go around and pick out all of this in another colour. I mean, I was thinking of using Magos purple, that being a bit of a necromancer type colour purple, but it's entirely up to you. I don't think you need to. As you can see, I have actually started it just there, just to test it out, see what it was like. But I don't think it stands out enough to merit taking up all that time to do. But there we go. You know, some nice Tomb Kings pieces. Like I said, they're from Legend Games, which is www.legendgames.co.uk. I think they're about £7 or £8. I can't remember off the top of my head. I bought them ages and ages ago, but I thought I'd get around to doing them tonight whilst I'm waiting for the Tomb King stuff to arrive. Alright, so please like and subscribe, and hopefully I shall catch you in the next one.